Hello. This is JB Sports Pod. It's been a while. I'm having some struggles here with the camera. I still need to get a webcam. Other than that, enjoy this view of Dominic Green's game-winning shot against the University of Arizona. Because, well, that is a legendary moment in Husky basketball. But today, I am going to start off with some Husky football talk because I've gone to a couple of spring practices, including yesterday's, and I have a lot to talk about there. Let me tell you, wow, it is amazing. It's been a great experience to go see those open practices. Thank God Jed Fish keeps them open because otherwise I would have nothing to talk about. Jedfish, man. Whatever. But I will also have some other topics, but for now, that's all I'm gonna start talking about. I am still working on getting an editor. For now, the editor is me. Finally, gone on to streaming on OBS. But I will be adding this to the YouTube. And I will be attempting to start streaming here, my podcast here soon, so this is just starter. Alright, anyways, let's get into Husky football. Alright, so one big thing there about the Huskies. They look great, man. I mean, this team looks very competitive. I've been enjoying it myself. I've been a huge fan of a few different guys. My favorite that I've watched so far are the wide receivers and the linebackers. The linebackers have made the most starts and have the most experience out of any position group. And that is super important when we're talking about college football right now. And the best part about that is that all of them are returning. Our 5 core linebackers that are like our guys: Xavier Alexander, Tariq Aludqua, Zadarius Rennie-Saleh, Jacob Manu, and I'm missing one, aren't I? Wow, I should really have that off the top of my head. There is one more very important guy that I'm missing right now. Nope, I'm not. I'm going to edit that out because I'm the editor. And then, so that's been great. Those 4 are going to be the absolute keys to the defense next year. Rennie-Saleh had a rep in practice yesterday that just was like so beautiful of a play. So it was a contact drill. You have one blocker versus one linebacker. Typically the blocker was no lineman. In this case it was. So I believe Mason James, freshman wide receiver, speedster. He'll play out of the slot. He won't get as much time though, I don't think. As much time on the field, so we won't see too much production from him early. But he was the runner. I don't remember who the blocker was, but Rennie-Saleh off the ball, he was quicker than him. He just smoked him. He pushed him right back to the ground. And he got to Mason James, and he threw him out of bounds behind the line, and it was just a beautiful rep by Rennie-Saleh. He was so physical. He was doing all the drills really well. He was definitely the most impressive defender yesterday. Him and Dylan Robinson both really impressed me, as well as Emmanuel Carnley, transfer corner from Virginia. He has shown very good abilities to play in pass coverage. There was one particular rep yesterday against Rashid Williams running a crosser. Damon put the ball right on him. It was like a perfect pass, and Carnley got in there and made a great play on the ball, made a great physical play on the ball. Rashid couldn't pull it in, and the defense was just getting lit, man. The defense was just getting lit. It was awesome. Yeah, that was a great play by Carnley. I'm loving the looks of Emmanuel Carnley and Dylan Robinson at the corner positions. Our DBs have been great. Yeah, but one thing that I took away from yesterday, I did not see any Rylan Dillard Allen, and I did not see Rashawn Clark. So they might be dealing with injuries. For the DBs, Back to the linebackers though. Manu's just flying to the ball, man. Just flies to the ball. He is like a ball hawk. He's your guy to get the tackles this year. If you want to make a bet on who on this team would get the most tackles this year, I would put it down for Jacob Manu. He has been great in spring ball at getting after it. And then Aludquist still hurt, so I didn't see much of him. But Alexander was like, I talk about Manu and Rainy Saleh, they will be the starters because we'll have two linebackers at the field most times. But Alexander is not to be overlooked. Okay, look, this guy is great. I love Xavier Alexander. However you know what? I gotta learn how to pronounce that name because he's gonna be a baller this year. He's gonna play very good in pass coverage. He's also very physical. He is a great football player in general, not just a great linebacker. Anyways, moving on. So we also have plenty of great wide receivers. I love our wide receiver group this year. Let's start off wide receivers 1 and 2. Desmond Roebuck, as most people know. Desmond Roebuck, yesterday, super efficient day. We were in the gauntlet drill, didn't drop a pass. Most of them didn't, but he did it really well. It was just very smooth. His footwork was great. Same goes for Rashid Williams, wide receiver 2. But I also want to talk about Desmond Roebuck's tracking abilities. Because yesterday, during a team session, there was a lot of team session going on. As I was there, we watched a lot of the team sessions. Great competitive energy. They're making each other a lot better. It's very physical and it's very competitive, and I love to see that from a practice standpoint because these guys really care about winning their reps. And each rep you win is another rep that gains your team some confidence and another rep that gains your team a win. So I think that is super important for the Huskies because Desmond Roebuck wins his reps. Desmond Roebuck is he's been a great route runner. He very improved in that field, I'd say. He was a okay route runner last year. Now I've noticed him sort of running the routes in his own fashion. But Rashid Williams is the best route runner, I'd say. But let's get to that in a second. I'm talking about Roebuck right now. Desmond Roebuck. Yesterday he had a play. Demond put this on the money, and it was perfect. It was right over the linebacker, and Roebuck had to track the ball all the way. He was reaching out, like full extension catch, like no dive or anything. It was just a full extension catch, like all the way over his shoulder too. And it was on a crosser, so Demond had to float it over the linebacker, and he tracked it perfectly and was able to haul it in. And I was super impressed with that catch by Roebuck. That was a beautiful play all around. And now let's talk about my boy, Rashid Williams. Rashid Williams, I do not have enough to say about this guy. I love him. He did drop a pass yesterday, though, that I was a little disappointed in. That's the first time I've ever seen him drop a pass, though. So that's why I'm okay with it. He is an amazing route runner. He can get to the spots you need him to be. He can work out of any spot, but you would prefer him in the slot or at the Z. He's just awesome. He has sure hands, best route runner out there for sure. And he's just, I can't say enough about Rashid Williams. He is my guy. He is going to be wide receiver 1 this year for the University of Washington. And now, on to the X receiver position. This is what everyone is concerned about. Let me soothe your nerves, everyone. This X receiver position, it's like Denzel Boston, it's like a hey LeBron, Ben Simmons is here type of moment. But hey Denzel Boston, Christian Moss and Jordan Clay are here. We're good. You can go. Okay, obviously Boston is better than both of those guys, given the fact that Christian Moss is coming out of Kennesaw State as a wide receiver 2, and because historically, when you transfer to the University of Washington, Amari Evans and Jeremiah Hunter, you do not tend to have the greatest production. Hey, shout out to Amari Evans, though. That's my boy. I love him. But it's just for some reason we have this curse under Jed Fish where when you transfer to the University of Washington, you just don't end up having as much production as you think you do because new guys come in like Jordan Clay. Jordan Clay and Christian Moss have been the two X receivers. If you look at both of these guys physically, they are physical specimens. They're way better physically, like physically wise, physicality wise. I would take both of them over Boston, but unfortunately, Denzel Boston is one of the best receivers in the NFL draft this year, and I cannot confidently say that either of these guys will be that. Um, I can semi confidently say that about Jordan Clay. Um, he is I know I said Rasheed Williams is my favorite. I say that a lot. But Jordan Clay coming into camp is my favorite player, I guess. Not like not like in like he's the best one sense. Not like a like he's my favorite. I think he's gonna be the most productive sense. He's my favorite in the sense of like the way he plays. He's a jump ball wide receiver. He beats you. He is just physically better than you if you're covering him. And you know what's great for that is that that's Dylan Robinson's mentality out there on the edge too, who covers X receivers. And when you going up against a guy who covered Jeremiah Smith in his first ever start as a Division One athlete and held him to relatively low yardage, I think that that's a really good sign for your development. And Jordan Clay has been willing to be coached from what I've seen. He's made three key mistakes since I've seen him, and he just goes right to his coaches. He takes a rep off. He takes more than a rep off, taking shit from his coaches. Pardon my French. Taking shit from his coaches because he is so willing to be coached, and that's why he chose to come to the University of Washington in the first place, because they love to get on their guys for things, and he wants that. He wants that discipline, and he is that discipline. He's made these improvements to his. I think since I went to the first practice and I went to the most recent one as well, he has made very many footwork improvements since then. I just think he needs to go back to. He needs to evaluate his terms of when he needs to high point the ball and when he needs to over the shoulder catch it. Because there was a play, it was a downfield play. Um, I missed this other play that was shown, but I could also talk about it because I did see the video. But the play that was right by me, absolute dime from Demond, right to him, right in his breadbasket. But he has a guy like Dylan Robinson on him. Dylan Robinson's gonna break that up if you let it come into the breadbasket like that. So you know what he does later? He makes the adjustment. He turns around. He high points the ball. He didn't really tee it up like that, but he let it come to his chest, and he was able to make the physical catch on Dylan Robinson. The offense was going crazy later in practice, but this play that I'm talking about dropped right in the breadbasket. Almost had it. He was really holding on. Dylan Robinson, with that experience at corner, made a great play on the ball. He's he's like a straps corner. I love Dylan Robinson. Oh my gosh. But Jordan Clay, he's willing to make the adjustment. Um, I think that that's a really important thing. The Huskies need that. They need those guys, and that's what Boston was, and that's what Clay is. And that's why I love Clay, because he's physically dominant compared to the rest of he's physically dominant compared to the rest of the wide receiver group, him and Moss, but I'd say him, especially considering the fact this kid is 18 years old. Like, come on, dude. Like, you look at him and you're like, dude, that's a man right there. But then you also are like, oh my god, he's just a kid. He's 18. I love him for that. He's so athletically and physically gifted, and he is willing to take the coaching, and I think that will make him one of the best receivers from his class. Well, obviously, there's going to be guys like Chris Henry who come along that are already at that level, but he's willing to work up so that he can get to the maximum potential. He'll take any advice, he'll take any coaching he can, and I love that about Jordan Clay. All right, moving on from him back to Christian Moss. Christian Moss, when I watched his highlights from Kennesaw State, I was like, all right, this guy's sort of a speedster. He can play on the outside, though, too, so I'm kind of curious. When I saw him at spring practice, I was like, damn, this guy's really just a true X receiver. Like, he's just strong. He's like, you just, like, look at him and you're like, wow, this guy's just, like, a true Division One wide receiver. Like, I don't know how else to put that, honestly. But he's awesome. But I think Clay should start but I don't know. I'm just saying, Clay came in as a freshman. He's committing himself to this university from year one, and he's competing with a senior. But Christian Moss, my main thing with him is that his hands are not as strong as your average Washington wide receiver. And you need to have that trait if you want to play for this university because this isn't softball out here, boys, okay? It is hardball. You're going to need to make some great catches. You're going to need to make some great plays when you're playing for us. I mean, I'm making it sound like I'm part of the team or whatever, but I don't care, man. If you're going to play for my squad that I've been watching my whole life, I'm going to need you to have that aspect with your hands. I need you to be willing to get coached as well in that aspect. So that's something that Jordan Clay is willing to get coached on that he isn't, that I haven't seen him willing to get coached on. He doesn't take his reps off so that he can take shit from coaches and take it in and apply it and work towards it and work towards getting better himself. Now, last practice, given that he was injured, I don't have enough to say about him. So I'm not criticizing him. I actually love him. He's like he's so fast and he's so physically gifted. He just needs to work on those hands and I love him. This is just like my I'm just throwing out hate because Jordan Clay is my guy and I love him, but Christian Moss, shout out to you, bro. You're actually really good. I'm just hating right now because I'm promoting my man Jordan Clay. You are a excellent wide receiver. You went for about 700, 600 yards at Kennesaw State. And that's no joke, dude. Like I know that. Jordan Clay hasn't proven himself in that Division 1 level and you have. So we'll see how you work into this offense as an X receiver. Okay, moving on from the likely starters, Chris Lawson. I don't know if I've talked about him. I believe I haven't because last time I was on this set, I was talking about the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Chris Lawson. Oh boy, love that guy. He could play out of any spot. He really wants that X receiver position, though. I think that'll go to either Clay or Moss. I think he will play out of the Z, or he could play in the slot. He could play wherever he wants, man. You know what? Throw him wherever he wants. Put him in whenever. He's like the ultimate, like, versatile wide receiver. He does it all. He's been working towards his goals too, though. I love he has that same wannabe coach aspect that Jordan Clay does. And he's worked towards the physical aspect too because he really wants that X spot. He's really into it, and I think that that's great. But I don't know exactly how we're gonna work him in there. We're a 3 receiver set team right now, and he doesn't fit the categories of the Z spot because we have Rashid Williams at the Z, who is definitely better than him, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll see how that goes with Chris Lawson. He's a very good receiver. You should check out some of his stuff from high school, or maybe some of his. He had about 160 yards last year, which isn't much, but he showed a couple of things. He has the experience out on the college football field, so we'll see how that goes. And then who else? Let me go on to the 3 guys I've been enjoying very much out of this UW wide receiver room. One guy that made a great play yesterday in practice that I was just like jumping about. This guy's name, Trez Davis. Trez Davis, he was number 4 in high school. They worked him out of the fly sweep a lot. He played the X position. He's not big enough to do that in college. He's almost, but he's not. He just needs to work with our strength coach, who's one of the best strength coaches in the nation. But Trez Davis made a great catch yesterday, a very physical catch. He took an absolute hit from one of our safeties. I apologize, I cannot remember since Dillard Allen and Rashawn Clark were out. But he took an absolute shot from the back. He leaped up, make the catch to high point it. And as he was bringing it in, he took the hit, and he was so strong with the ball, he just kept it in there, and it was just full possession. It was great, and I love to see that out of anyone on Washington. And seeing that from a freshman who's the least regarded out of our guys, that's even better. I love that. He was probably the least recruited of our freshman wide receivers. Now, don't get that twisted. He was still highly regarded. He's still a highly regarded recruit with a very good amount of D1 offers, and D1 offers that I myself will obviously never receive because I'm sitting here talking about him and he's only 2 years older than me. Who cares? I criticize, okay? Jeez. Yeah, but Trez Davis, my gosh, that was a great play. He's very faster on the edge, and something I was watching his tape earlier. He has very good vision down the field. Very good vision of what he should do. His route running, he knows how to sauce you up. If you know what I mean. He can sauce you up, he can cook you. He is amazing at that. He will get by you. Okay? He's going to get by you. He sees the fields very well. He's a very high IQ football player. And that's very important, coming from Washington players, because that's not a trait that I normally think of when I think of Washington players. But it's a trait that matters, because he has it, and that's why they were able to run this fly sweep with him a lot in college. And a lot of screen passes. We've been trying a lot of screen passes in practice for the offense. They've gotten blown up, straight up, like just blown up. If we start running it with him and his vision, I think maybe we could improve on that. And also, maybe even the coaches should, I don't know, ask for his intel because his high school team ran a lot of screen passes and a lot of those worked. Just saying. Anyways, but yes, this is how I've been feeling about Washington football so far. Wide receiver core. One more guy. Missed him. Sorry, Justice Williams. That's what I'm talking about. Justice Williams. What a guy. What a guy. I love Justice Williams. I love him. He's 6'4". Like the Sabrina Carpenter skit where it's like, I don't know, he's 6'5". He's 6'5". That's not how I feel about Justice Williams, because yesterday he caught 2 different touchdowns, and both of them, he caught a little slant rub route, and he caught another one that I did not attend to, but I heard he caught a second touchdown. And Justice is really working towards his goals, I think. And I really hope that we can keep him over a long period of time. Because Justice has been a very efficient player in practice so far. I've noticed in the gauntlet drill yesterday, especially. The gauntlet drill was beautiful from every player. He just did it with a really good rhythm, though. Like, I'm just like glazing, but like it's valid glaze if you saw this gauntlet drill that he did. Like, honestly, it was beautiful. I'll stand on that. It was a majestic drill it was a majestic drill from Justice Williams, and I'm not even lying about that. Like, it was beautiful. Like, it was just so nice. Like, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Like, Rashid Williams ran the most beautiful. I would say Justice Williams had the second best. Like, Roebuck, obviously, yeah, whatever. But I'd say Williams had the second best looking drill yesterday. Second best looking gauntlet drill yesterday. It was just crisp. It was crisp. It was perfect. Okay, let me move on. Running backs. We are looking bad right now. I'm kidding. These guys, our first 3 running backs are out right now, and we have guys that are just stepping up into roles that they weren't ready for coming into spring ball. And one particular name that comes out of this is Quade Carr. I think Quade Carr has proved himself to be a guy that can run with the big boys, I think that he's a younger side. He's on the younger side of things. I believe he's a 19-year-old. And he's been running with the starters this whole time. And that's important to have guys like that. Quade Carr step up. I didn't this guy was like a barely make the roster type of guy last year. Quade Carr this year, he's looking like he's gonna be a starting running back going into week 1. Jaden Lamar, injured right now. I'm not sure what. Cooley right now. LJ Cooley maybe. I don't remember his name, but he was at Georgia Tech at some point. I know. He's very good, but he's also injured right now, or he's not on campus. And Jordan Washington. Shout out to Jordan Washington. I love that guy. He's a great dude. Unfortunately, neck injury. I think it put him out for the season. Man, that's sad, man. I have nothing but love for that kid. He showed us a lot last year for the university. Showed us a lot of his football talent, and I miss him, man. He was a joy to watch. He was having great vision. O-line was making holes for him. It was awesome. I mean, it was beautiful. Quade Carr, though, with these injuries, he stepped up and showed us that he can do these things too. All right, I'm a starter. Okay, I'm worthy of a starting spot here. I'm worthy of a rotation player at least, and that's good. And then Brian Bonner is another guy, notable guy. I can't remember his name. Number 30 for us though. He's a big boy. He is a big boy. When I say that, he looks like he's a linebacker, but he actually plays running back. Like, he's huge. Like, honestly, in the red zone, we should just run the Wildcat with him. That's what I think. Um, Running backs core looks a little off right now, though, sadly, because of the injuries. Quade Carr, though, has really stepped up and proved himself. And if you came to the practice not knowing anything, you'd be like, wow, this guy's probably going to be a starting running back, right? It looks pretty good out there. You wouldn't even know that we have injuries. You would just know Quade Carr's the guy.